The next part of the project setup, what I want to look at is modifying the desktop a little bit. As you can see, we've got quite a lot of stuff going on. You know, we've got all these tabs and stuff. So we just want to clean that out, create our own little desktop and streamline things a little bit more. So we're going to go up to our build here. And first of all, what I want to do is I'm going to go to my desktops manager. And you can see we've got a whole list of all these desktops. So we can actually hide those as well, so they don't appear in this list, and just cleans things up even a little bit more. So you can go hide. So I want to hide everything really. Got this grooming, we can hide. We can hide this. Labs, we can hide. Look div, we'll hide. It's old. Hide the modeling, output. Solaris, we can leave for now, just so we can look at them possibly. And then we're going to hide those, hide the technical, going to hide all these ones. We don't need any of them to show up. And then what I want to do on this build is I actually want to duplicate this, and I want to use this one that we're going to customize. I'm going to call this build underscore JS just to underscore it with my name. And we're going to save this one and hit accept. And now let's go up here. So you can see we've only got a few little desktops. I'm going to switch to this one. And now we can see we've got some changes. Obviously, I've saved this once before, so it's switched my background to black. And this is just pushing D on the keyboard, the display options for the viewport, and coming up to background and switching it from light to dark. I prefer working with the dark background. Makes the geometry stand out quite nice. And when you're switching to like a lighting phase, it's like this, not this big contrast jump between things. So I'm just going to close this and leave that like that for now. And then what I want to do is just remove some of these additional tabs that we've got going over here. So we've got like this performance monitor. Sometimes it's quite handy to use, and it is good if you're trying to problem solve, but for this project, we're not really going to be using the performance monitor. This take list is really old. This is, mostly for the old Mantra style rendering. So I'm going to remove that. I can leave the parameters. And then I want to close down this tab, close pane, all tabs. So now I'm just left with these two. Let's move this over to the side. So now I've got this object network here, which is just my network here. So there's no parameters, obviously, but what we can do while we're hovering our mouse over here is hit P on the keyboard. Maybe we should just create a piece of geometry. So I'm going to just create a piece of geometry here. Oh, this is actually set to parameters, sorry. So we need a network view, and let's hit P on the keyboard. You can see it comes up with this thing that says no operator selected. So if I create a piece of geometry, for instance, let's just create a geometry node, and now you'll see my parameter pane pops up. So that's just a slightly cleaner way of doing it, and you can expand this in and out as you want. So yeah, it's not quite nice to have more real estate in your network editor, and then we can divide that between our viewport as well. The other thing, what I want to do is just come out and clean some of this up. So we've got this animation editor and rendering. So we don't really want the animation editor here. The render view we're not going to use. This is like our old Mantra, or if using maybe like an older version of Arnold or something, you would be rendering here possibly. And then composite view we don't need, motion effects we don't need. The geometry spreadsheet, having it here is a bit odd, so we're going to remove it as well. And now you can see we've got far less information going on. Now I'm going to keep my shelf tools up. There's some handy things obviously we use along the way and to get quick access to it. So I just keep that open for now. And then the next thing what I want to do is I want to actually create my geometry spreadsheet down here. So I'm going to come up here, I'm going to split the plane to top and bottom, the pane, sorry. and we'll have this double pane now. So what I need to do is right click on the scene view, and I need to go down to inspectors, and I want to change this to geometry spreadsheet. So now I've got my geometry spreadsheet sitting like this, and my parameters, and I think that's looking all good. So what we can do now is go to my desktop, and we can save current desktop. Okay, that's great. So just checking, we go to the build, it looks like this. Now we go to my one, and it looks like this. Obviously, you can arrange this exactly how you want. It's entirely up to you. You can even change the colors to custom colors if you want. But that's just personal preference. I like it quite dark like this. Then the next thing what we want to look at is creating a startup point for our shelf tool. And at this point, I also want to just take a look at quite a new feature, and that's the recipes tool setup. And we can use that in conjunction with the shelf tool, or we can use one or the other. So let's just have a look at that next.